The remaining calls are 5 minutes. There'll be a bell at 4 minutes. Sewer Williams here.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's my pleasure to rise to support the Manukau City Council legislation with regard to street prostitution. I want to just begin by saying that I think it's important for the members of this House to note that this bill is not about eliminating prostitution. It is not about trying to repeal, there is no effort whatsoever to repeal the Prostitution Reform Act. This bill is about addressing a problem that the people of Manukau City Council has acknowledged has existed for some time in their midst. It is a problem, sir, that has caused quite a lot of pain within some sectors of that particular community. And no doubt my colleague to my right and my colleague to my left, of which represent those communities, will have more to say on that. I think it's important to say that we're not about trying to eliminate prostitution, and I don't think that that's ever going to be possible as long as there is violence in the home and women are beaten up, women and children are abused sexually, that there will be people who will feel inclined that this is perhaps a way for them to earn a living and a way for them to pay back the people that they might be angry with. And as long as there are men out there with money willing to buy this kind of service, then we're always going to have that same situation in our community. I want to also say that this is not driven by any moral outrage, despite the fact that that community of Manukau in the early days of the Prostitution Reform Act did feel as if that they had every right to say no to what was being proposed then. It is important that the people of this House note that this is focusing specifically on street prostitution, which I understand the councils, the members of Manukau City Council are united in sending a very strong signal to this House that it is a problem that they simply want this amendment to be forwarded on to the second stage, to the select committee, so that we could listen to the evidence that is available from the public, particularly the public of Manukau, and also that we can get some advice in terms of how do we deal with this particular problem. And the problem is, that the Prostitution Reform Act does not protect those who are offering their services on the streets. And despite the work of the Council in advocating for social services and other protection from other agencies, despite the work of the Council in ensuring that these areas are lit, have the CCTV, are monitored by security, the fact remains, sir, that it is not only unsafe for those practicing their services on the street, but it is also unsafe for the local community when they have to deal with the nuisance factor that arises from street prostitutes. And I'm not going to say anything further, sir, to say that this current bill is a major improvement from the bill previously forwarded by Council in 2005. It is the view of the Council, which I support, that the Prostitution Reform Act has failed to protect street workers or move them to safer settings indoors. And as I said, this is not going to be the sole answer. It's really a tool as we explore how do we try to deal with the situation, the unsafe situation of young people mainly, of others who feel that they've got to offer their services on the street, and provide a balance so that their rights as prostitute are protected, as well as the rights of the community are maintained, that there be no
Sorry
nuisance
to interrupt the honourable
on that
member.
particular
His
street.
time has expired.